Hello everyone and welcome back for another No Suit Survival episode. Today we're gonna do a little bit of work on our base area here. We're gonna create a little control station and some way of lifting a piston up and down that has a projector on it so that we can start printing stuff out of these welders. I'm thinking I might even just strap a piston into this wall here that has like a little chute that it goes up and down. I need to have a little sprue for whatever's coming out, and it needs to be on a small grid. So it you can do it from like above, and you have like a piston that retracts all the way back up. But I would rather keep the vertical area of this as clear as possible so that I can fly stuff in and out. So what I'm thinking is I'll put a piston in probably that wall or maybe in the back here, and then I'll have a sprue coming out the front. That's a possibility. In this area I do need to put some like windows and a control room and a door. Maybe 2 doors just to make it a little bit symmetrical. I don't know. Maybe one. Maybe I'll do like a door and then the piston, and that'll be like pseudo symmetry. And we'll work with that. Now, something exciting has come out since the last episode, which is the AI enabled mod, which can add a bunch of random bots and sort of enemies that you can encounter in all sorts of things. So over the next few months we should see people creating some interesting stuff with the modular encounters spawner. One that has come out is one called Robot Drop Pods, I think is what it's called. But I've already installed that. It's on the Steam Workshop right now, and it's one of the really popular ones, so you can't really miss it if you also want to pick it up. But the way that it works is with the new AI enabled framework, it should drop in pods from orbit that will try and home in on the player. They'll drop a bunch of robots that will attack you on foot, which is very exciting because we haven't had on foot enemies since like people have been doing like mods with zombies and more wolf encounters and whatnot. So it's very exciting to see a new framework added like that. So hopefully we shall see some of them today. I'm not sure how frequent they are. I haven't even tested it yet, but today will be our testing day if they do choose to appear. Another thing I want to do today is a bit more work on the base. I sort of want to build up some walls and get a little bit more structure in here. And to do that, I'm probably going to need a little bit of... I really need some nickel and magnesium, because I also want to add in some turrets and whatnot all around the place. I'm thinking of adding a turret-fired missile launcher, which uses a script, but we can get into that a little bit later. That might be what I end the episode with, unless I get murdered by robots, which I mean, it's not a good thing, but it would be a fun thing. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to move the salamander out of the way, I think, because I want to build my mining ship in here, so I'm going to need some room. So let's move this out of this area. And I'll just plop it down on the snow here, so it's still within easy access in case I need it. Because, yeah, as I've said, my base doesn't actually have any turrets so far. So this is basically all we can protect ourselves from small grid ships. Okay, so now we need a piston. Now, what have I got on me in terms of parts? I haven't got enough to place them. But I really would like a conveyor port or something so that I can access my cargo system and withdraw stuff that way. And if I build a little room in here, I can make it pressurizable. So it does make sense to have an oxygen tank somewhere. So perhaps I'll put a oxygen tank in here that can connect to the area down there. Now, see if, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some scaffolding here, and that will get me down to the level that I need, hopefully. Let's cut down a couple more so I can get down another layer or so. So I'll place that, and then we can place some wall blocks here with our local grid align. And that we can use as our attachment points for another one. So now we have access to down here, and which block did I cut out for the tank? That's this one here. And I'm basically just going to attach that to the side of this welder wall here. That'll work as a attachment point. So we can place our conveyors through here. Now I'll grab these out as we go. I'm going to need like 3, I think. And we can weld them up as we go. So now we need another one that's going out that way, and it might actually be a bit tall because the oxygen tanks are 2 blocks tall. Another option is I could use the side of a O2H2 generator, so then I've got an access point in the floor that I can put like a vent on it. So what I want to do, it would give me more hydrogen production, but it would also make noise. It's a good question. Is there any other block I could place an assembler? What else has got cargo points? I don't want to use small cargo containers for the time being. If I just have small cargo containers all over the place, they're gonna get really messy until I add an inventory sorting sort of script. But I guess I might just have to. Suppose it's not the worst idea. Now I do need an oxygen tank somewhere. Just one, really. It's such a shame that the oxygen tank doesn't have I've got it on my hotbar. It doesn't have like a side port. It's only up and down. So if I put one here, I would have to have like the vent in the ceiling, which I guess makes sense. And you would at least see the tank. I suppose that's a plus. Add a little bit of visual interest with something in the corner that you can see. Yeah, no, I don't hate that anymore. Alright, let's grab the parts for that, and that should be a lot of tubes, so hopefully I've got all that, yeah. Another thing I could add is the auto crafting. So that should actually fill up. I have a vent on here. Yeah. The external vent I used to fill up that ship there. What I was saying, that there is with Izzy's inventory manager, you can also have an auto crafting thing. So if you're running low on a specific resource, you can get your assemblers or a specific component, you can get your assemblers to manually just construct everything that you'll need. So, I mean, the front is going to be pretty close to this. I might end up building it into the wall a little bit. I got a window block on here. What is the general window block now? Half window? No, it's the the vertical window's got like all the options. Let's grab that. Do I need a rotor? I'm gonna need a rotor to convert to small grid, so yes, I will keep one of them on the hotbar. Now, I want to make this airtight, so what's gonna be a good option for that? Could use, and viewports have a little bit of a limited view. I don't know how I feel about that. What about the the half windows? How are these gonna look? I need a bunch of girders, but perhaps these will be the window of choice. So if I'm like sitting back here on a control seat, then I can have these half windows and then see out in that. Although, no, I don't want to put like other just normal kinds of windows next to these window blocks, because they'll look like, I don't know, it'll just be like window into window and it'll look a bit weird. So I'm going to grab a few of these, or just 1 or 2 or 3, so I can place a whole bunch. This is where perhaps where our wall is, or not the wall, but where our sprue is going to come from. So we could place that. And then we need a door. So do I place a centrally aligned door, or do we have something a little bit offset? I think I'll do it a little bit offset. So we have like 2 of these. And then we'll make this one a door. Where have I got my doors? Can either do it on the... I can either do it on like the far side, so I can have like a door here and then the sprue coming out of here. And then... Actually no, I'll do it like this, because then I can have a wall here. So this will need a block. Now, what block should we use? We need something that connects to the wall, but also gives us a little bit of room inside. So perhaps something like that. And then we can have like a half block here, or even one of these panels. It can go in here. So this is what our internal room is going to look like, and then we have a door here. So let's grab the doors. Not going to need tools for a little while, so we're going to use the offset door like that. So then we can see out either side. This will be another. This doesn't really make any sense. I wanted to put a conveyor port here so I can withdraw items, but I might just have to be using. Ooh, I don't know. I also don't like that. I don't like how that matches. The other option here, I think, is a slope. That sort of fits a little bit better. Gives me a nice sort of circular-ish angled room. I ideally want to be able to match the... if I have any angled areas in this construction, I hopefully want to match this sort of angle that I'm using with the... what's this block called? The half-slope inverted light armor. Which I don't even think that's its full name. If we go blocks... armor blocks. It is... No, it's just like a half-slope inverted. Right. I ideally want to be able to use a lot of them. So let's go with this part here. Now, do I want it coming out of the wall or out of this spot here? If I put it on a sprue coming out of here, I might even be able to put a block here that has like a gap in between it. I don't know if there's a block like that I can just like, you know, sort of shove a small grid block through. Like a passageway, perhaps? What else? What are the other options? I'm not sure what my other options are. What if we... Let's see, there's large blocks. This is all the large block options we've got. These would look a bit weird, but I suppose I could pass a block through that. There's also a sliding door. We could just leave that in its open position. Although, there's no real worry about clang, I hope, because this is a station. That's a possibility. The industrial assembler has like a little open area. What else? I don't know. Oh, this is the Robo Factory is part of the AI enabled mod. That can you can actually even spawn some allies with that. Some little bots that can help you weld up things, or some friends that can run around and shoot things for you, which is fun. I don't think I'll use the bots that can weld things for me, because I mean part of this challenge is going around without a suit, so it would kind of defeat the purpose if I could just have some robots do everything for me. So I think if I'm going to use robots in any way, they'll be just like soldiers that I can have patrolling the area that can protect me from drop pods, which hopefully will come at some point. So let's start with this. We need, actually it needs to go up and down, so I can't really use a passage, can I? Not unless it's in, it's like reverse position. I could put, what I could do is I could put like a passage down the bottom and a passage up the top that sort of act as like the brackets or braces where the piston will go up and down and through. It'll make sense in a second if I stop rambling and just show you. So if I have like, if you imagine a sprue coming, a small grid square coming through here, I can have this sort of passage block here, which the sprue is passing through. I could even, you know, use one of these. It probably looks a little bit more sci-fi, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I can also use one that has like a light or something. That might work nicely. And give it a little bit of a heavy industrial look. And then we'll go up to the full extension of the piston, and then we'll have another one that's in the opposite orientation, so it gives you an idea of like where the sprue is going to be able to go between the two like passageways. So we need to add in a piston here with a rotor on top of it. So one option is just to come down here and place some blocks, I think, and I can just walk along and hopefully get back onto these stairs. It should be fairly doable. And I can... It's really annoying that you can't, you like sink off of the edge of these. You can't place another one, so I think you can also, you can just use a larger block. So if I've got like refineries or something on here, I don't, but what else could I use? Oh, whatever, we'll just use these and we'll just fill it in like that. Doesn't really matter, I can always cut it down later. So this is where we want to go up. So we're going to need some conveyoring. This will probably be a conveyor here, like down and in. It needs to have a fair bit of clearance because we want it to be able to go all the way to the ground level. So when it's at the start point, see, I think this is actually going to be a bit too high with a piston on top of it, so I think I need to go down one more, ideally. So this will probably be where it starts. Something, I don't know, I just place that in the exact same spot. One more below that. So that'll be the block under here. And place a rotor on here. We can chop that off, and we want to add a small head and lock it. So we need our rotor lock. Okay, this is going to be our name. We'll just name this the printer rotor, and we also want to name the printer piston so that we don't lose it in our control menu. Printer piston. So then we can weld that and that up. Sweet. So we can bring that all the way up. I need a control seat above, or a control point of some kind. And yeah, I was right in thinking that I probably won't be able to climb up that, so I can use this instead. And just jump onto this. There we are. Okay, so yeah, we need a control point here. Well, I can reach that. Sweet. So we go to the piston, and we want our printer piston, and extend that up to about here. So now we can place our small blocks off of here in any orientation. We can put our projector on here, decorate it with some little blocks, and that should all work out fine. We can place blocks here and it should just fit, and not cause too many terrible problems. Can I place? I can. Sweet. Nice. So we're going to be able to pressurize that, no problem. Which will be important because it's going to get really cold here. So yeah, that'll be useful. All right. Cargo point. I do want a cargo access point. I suppose I can technically pull stuff out of that. It is a conveyor. But the other option is... I mean, the other option is just an O2H2 generator, which would fit a lot better. We don't want that. So we're going to go with the control seat. The option is, what control station do we want to use? I mean, this does look sort of appropriate for a... Is it just me or are those joysticks really low? Would that be kind of unergonomic to hold those? I think they'd be a bit higher. Yeah, see how these, like, the joysticks on this seat come up to almost like halfway along the shoulder pad area, and these ones are like just at waist height. This one's going to give me the most view, like the largest field of view, so I'm going to choose that option. I should be able to pull stuff out of that. No, okay, yeah, I was right to put that in.
Energy low.
And now I can use this to recharge my power as well. Cool. So this station here is going to be for our printer. So we want our printer control station is what we're going to name this. Printer control station. That'll be relevant for any scripts that I use, so that's why I'm like naming stuff in advance. So printer control. Right. Now technically that is completely functional. So what we need to do is we need to add some stuff on here. So we want our piston, the printer piston, and the printer welders. So we'll have like a toggle on off. The piston will have extend and retract. We'll just go reverse and on and off. And we want to make sure that that's nice and slow so that we can actually get a good welding speed out of that. So we'll go 0.1. I think that's as slow as it can go. So then if we look over to our side here, we can turn that on and slowly extend and retract that. And I think we want to add a minimum distance just so we're not like pulling the piston or pulling the sprues. It needs to be low enough to start the weld. So there, that's probably good. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that as the minimum distance. So it's currently at 2.8 meters and that's going to be our minimum distance. So I won't be able to pull it any further down than that, even if it is on. Yeah. So that's as low as it will go. And if we come out here, we can have a look at that. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, so now all we need to do is add our projector to it with some decoration around it. So I've never figured out quite how to tell exactly which side is which on these. I know the like cross part is the top, but I can't remember if that's the front or the back. You see how there's like 2 bars going into the middle there? And then on here there's 4 bars going into the middle, and then there's none on these. I'm pretty sure that's the front of the projector. The question is, do I want to put that on... You know, I want to put that on a bit of a pedestal. Yeah, because I don't like seeing that annoying yellow conveyor sort of stuff around it. So I'm going to do a little bit of a decoration here. And we'll use these slope pieces. We'll have a block here. Why am I... I just realized that there's no reason to pipe this up because it's just the projector piston. Why did I go through all the effort of piping that up? My god, that's so dumb. Okay. It is what it is. If I ever need it, I'm thinking in advance, I guess. So let's see. I think there's a shape that fits that in here. Is that the right? I think that's the only valid option. Although it does stick out over the top of, it sticks out over the rim a little bit, but not to worry, I suppose. We weld this all up. How's that look? I don't hate it. There's a little bit of lag. Any drop pods coming in yet? No? What's that? Is that an asteroid? I think that's just an asteroid. It's interesting. Oh, you can actually see all the asteroids from here. I guess Triton's atmosphere is actually so... Well, the gravity well is so narrow that you can just sort of see the asteroids. I wonder if I even marked that one out. Be interesting to see if I turn on all my asteroid GPSs, whether that comes back up or not. Now, I'm going to put... I think I'm going to put the projector block in there. No, I need access to it so that I can manage it with build vision. So if I put a projector on here, and then we just blueprint out, and that way this block here won't act as an attachment point for anything that we put out here. And that should be comfortably on the welders. Yeah, wow, I'm going to actually be able to print pretty large stuff off of this. So my idea here is I want it to have a... It digs out a kind of... If you imagine the drills, it digs out sort of like a triangular hole. And I want to be able to dig sort of square holes. So I'm going to chop this drill off and then put a drill here and a drill here. And they hopefully shouldn't get incinerated by these thrusters. I also want to change some of the armoring around here. It looks a little ugly, but you know what? It's a mining ship with a ton of batteries and stuff in it, so there's only so much you can do. It's even using the old school thrusters, which I don't think I even got in the right orientation the first time. Oh no, they are right. Yeah, it's this top area that I had weapons on. That's why it looks a little funny. So I can always slice that off. Anyway, let me demonstrate how this welder is going to work. So we need to just bring the sprue out and then attach it to a block. That will work. Now I need to actually bring that projection down a little bit. So that should be the vertical offset, I think. No, that's the horizontal. Where are we? Vertical offset. Right, that needs to go down into the ground, because the way that this is going to work is it's going to print the top first and then extrude downwards, so that should work. So let us place them in this manner. Oh, now placing them underneath is going to be interesting. You need to be able to place it underneath. So I'm going to have to extend the piston upwards to get access to it. So let's go up. So then we can place this underneath here. There we are. That should give the welders a nice purchase point. So let's reverse that back down. Now, what have we got in the terms of cargo? Because I'm going to need to produce a whole lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to print it off, and I've got like that little gap area down there, so I'm just going to use that. So our projector is on. Let me add that to this hotbar here. It's an important one to have here. Printer projector. We'll have that as our toggle block on and off. Don't need controls for it. So yeah, let's turn the welders on. Oh yeah, I forgot that they would do that. Saves me having to get all the parts out. Unfortunately, I can't see what I'm doing at the lowest point. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Maybe I should put this on like an elevated platform. Who knows? Let me begin the piston extension. That should start welding those up. I might need to stop that, just give it some time to weld everything up. Oh, and I've done the dark side of the windows, haven't I? I suppose it makes sense to have a darkened vision of the welding pit. You don't want all the like blinding light from welders. That makes some at least physical sense. Let me see now. I need that to go up some more. Whoa! Oh, that goes up a little bit too quickly. Okay, noted. Right, so can we just sneak on through here? That would be ideal. Yes, we can. Excellent. And now we can come in here and we can start digging this out. Sweet. So now we can start digging our mines. Area down here where we're going to have our little tunnels. Although this is going to take quite a while. But we are going to head towards the nickel and the magnesium, because that's what we're going to need. First of all. So let me just set a nice course for that. It's going to be fairly steep descent, but our thrusters should be able to manage it. Perhaps we'll go at this sort of less steep angle and we'll make sure we're flat with the ground. And I think I need to... Oh yes, there we go. Turn my lights on. It's almost... I could almost justify putting like a large grid drill on here just so it drills out a larger area. How steep is that angle? I can see on here. Is that like 40-degree angle? Jeez, that is... Hop out. How steep? Oh wow, that is... Yeah, that's going to be very difficult to fly out of. Let me clear some area up here. I'll just clear out this area around the magnesium, and that way I should just be able to fly up, sort of. Find somewhere in here. There we go. Find somewhere where I can have an outside view. Okay. So those are my parts. Now I just need to get my way back home, because this thing's running pretty low on power already. I didn't actually have a chance to charge it up. So which way is my base? That's the nickel path. Let's straighten ourselves out. Yeah, flying out of here is going to be very, very tricky. I'm probably going to need more thrusters in certain directions. And I should be able to go up. And that, from memory, yeah, there we go. So this is the path we need to follow back out. Okay. I'll just leave the right click drill on so I can excavate some more area around here. Give myself a little bit more leeway. So that is where we are going to dock this drone. Well, not drone, this ship. This isn't a drone. Not everything is drone. Okay. I think I even had a docking camera for these sort of situations, but that will do the trick. Then we can recharge our batteries. And then once that's recharged, we can go and get some magnesium. Now, the reason we want magnesium is for turrets. So lots and lots of bullets. So what I want to do is I want to place some turrets around the place. Just so I've got a little bit of extra defense, and that's what I'll end up finishing this episode on. Now, I just remembered that I wanted to change out those hydrogen tanks. So I go to my hydrogen tanks and go with these two, which will click stockpile. And that's empty, and we'll turn that off. Ship hydrogen, that is off. We'll stockpile off. Right, so how much have we got? We've got 24%, not bad. Let's add this to our base hydrogen tank and base hydrogen tank, and I will add that to these engines as well. Might as well. And these are just decorative, but whatever. That works. Okay, so where are we going to put turrets? I'm thinking probably up the top there is a good spot. I might even put turrets where those hydrogen tanks are in the long term. So let me get a better view of my surroundings here. It's going to be interesting running a conveyor line up that. I'll need a bunch of ladders or something. Yeah, this feels like a good spot for a turret. Somewhere up here. It gets me a nice big view. So round about there. Here-ish also. Let me make, actually what I'll do is I'll make a GPS location where I want to place these. That way I'll have a good idea of where I need to conveyor up to. Probably put one over there as well. Should put this on recharge so it's not wasting power with its lights. Where have we got a good, oh yeah. That's a good spot for a turret. Let's see, now we'll go GPS, turret 2. I should have just not added a number to those. Then maybe one over there behind the ore processors. I could just strap some to the tops of the hydrogen tanks, but that makes them even more of a target, which is probably suboptimal. And now, how do I want to convey them up? Where from? Is this a... Did I make that a junction? Should hopefully be a junction here. So, I'm probably going to put a structure over this anyway. I don't think I'm going to keep those hydrogen tanks, so I don't really feel bad about digging a little tunnel in here. So what I need to do is, there should be a junction underneath that, yeah, hydrogen tank. So we're gonna tunnel through here to that turret 2 location. So go a bit more. And that looks like it'll be the wall. So where's, oh, it's off that way. So start digging toward it now, and hopefully we won't break the surface. Probably just go in a straight line until it's directly above me. Here we are. And we can dig up. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll dig down from turret 2 from that GPS. Yeah, and that hasn't even disrupted it. It hasn't even disrupted the look too much. Then we'll start digging a little hole in here. Cool. That makes it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I love this mod. If you can avoid making little holes and divots like that, you can have a nice, yeah, nice smooth. I could actually, I think by the looks of it, I could even cover up the welder, but that seems a little bit cheaty. Give the AIs at least a chance for taking it down. Because I could just cover it entirely in concrete. I'll do at least partial. There should be a point where it stops me. It looks like it just sort of ends a little bit abruptly, so yeah, I'll do it to about there. That'll do. Now we've got some self-repairing turret. Well, a self-repairing turret. The next one is going to go up over there, which is going to be a little bit trickier to build because I need a new conveyor line for it. Okay, that's all hooked up. Now we just need to place them. And we want some tubes. Place it vertical alignment and here, and oh, it's going up the wrong line. Blast. Oh well, I guess that'll work. I did want it to be closer into the wall, but I'm sure this will be fine. Oh, and of course, I don't have enough parts. Ugh, how frustrating. Although those can be done by hand. So we'll just hop out and get all the components for that. There we go, that's a bit smoother. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Right. What I'll do is I'll go over to my other one, I think. Either that or I'm mining. You know, I'll go down to my mining ship. That's what I'll take my screenshot of for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed me twiddling my thumbs and dawdling around making this tunnel here. I should put a spotlight shining down that. How is my battery situation doing? It's not too great, but we've got plenty of hydrogen. Yeah, whatever. Let me stand next to my ship here. I have some light on me. Strike a pose. What options have I got? What is going on here? These emotes are crazy. Whatever, I'll just do the finger pointing one. That's fine. Maybe when he's sticking his hand up. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, so that's where we'll end it for today, everyone. I'm gonna do a whole bunch more work on this base. It not being structurally sound is just really bothering me, so I'm gonna weld up this pad here, do some work on that control center, fill in a whole lot of this as much as I can, really, and then I think in the next episode I will have enough nickel with my nickel and magnesium mine, so I'll go and do some of that, and then I think in the next episode I can start work on this hangar, so I'll have a place to put all of these poor vehicles which have no homes. But until then, I will see you next time. See you later, everyone.